Today we're diving into one of the biggest revolutions in modern medicine. We're talking about a way to fight cancer not with chemicals or radiation, but by unleashing a powerful killer that's already inside each and every one of us.
I mean, just think about that for a second. It's a really powerful question, and it gets right to the heart of what cancer immunotherapy is all about. The whole idea isn't about adding some new weapon to the fight. It's about reawakening our body's own expert cancer-killing machine.
So, who are these guardians? Well, let's meet them. They're your immune system. This absolutely brilliant, incredibly complex network of cells and organs that act as your personal 24/7 security force. Now, your immune system is kind of split into two main branches. You've got the innate system. Think of them as the first responders. They're fast, they're general purpose, and they're ready to fight anything that looks even a little bit foreign. But then you have the elite special forces, the adaptive system.
And you can see that division of labor right here. On the left, you've got that innate system, our first line of defense. But if you zoom in on the right, you see the real assassins of the adaptive system, the T cells. And to be specific, cytotoxic T cells are trained like these precision hunters to recognize and take out very, very specific targets, like cells infected with a virus, or, you guessed it, cancer.
So that begs a really big question, right? If our bodies have these elite assassins constantly on patrol, how in the world does cancer ever manage to survive and grow? Well, it turns out cancer is a true master of disguise. To understand how cancer pulls off this trick, we first need to talk about a vital safety feature built into our own immune system. It's called an immune checkpoint. You can think of them as molecular brakes. Their whole job is to stop our T cells from going totally haywire and attacking our own healthy tissue. It's a crucial system to prevent friendly fire. In this visual here, it shows you exactly what I mean. On the left, a T cell gets the green light, the go signal to attack. But look on the right. When a protein called CTLA4 gets involved, it's like someone just slammed on the brakes, telling that T cell, nope, stand down. It's a built-in off switch. And this is the genius, sinister trick that cancer plays. Cancer cells have actually learned how to exploit this system. They put proteins on their own surface that push these very same checkpoint buttons, like CTLA4 and another one called PD-1. They are literally hitting the brakes on any T cell that gets close. They wrap themselves in a signal that basically tells the immune system, I'm a friend, move along, nothing to see here.
Okay, so if cancer's hitting the brakes, what if we could just cut the brake lines? What if we could take our foot off that pedal and let the immune system's engine just roar back to life? Well, that is precisely what modern immunotherapy does.
And this is the mind-blowing part. Unlike chemotherapy, which is all about directly poisoning cancer cells, these drugs, called immune checkpoint inhibitors, they don't touch the cancer at all. Nope. Instead, they block the brakes. They cut that shutdown signal that cancer uses, setting the T cells free to finally see the enemy for what it is and do the job they were trained to do.
Okay, let's walk through this cycle. For your immune system to actually win this fight, it's got to complete all 7 of these steps. Now, cancer tries to break this cycle, usually right in the middle, by creating what's called immunosuppression. But check out where these new drugs jump in. Anti-CTLA4 drugs release the brakes way back here during the T-cell activation phase. Then, anti-PD-L1 drugs block the brakes at the very last second, right at the tumor, just as the T-cell is about to strike. It's a two-pronged attack on cancer's defenses. And this discovery has just unleashed this whole new arsenal of treatments. You've got drugs like ipilimumab, which was one of the first to block that CTLA4 brake. You have others that go after the PD-1 brake on the T cell, or even the PD-L1 disguise on the cancer cell itself. It doesn't really matter which one they target. The outcome is the same. The brakes are released. Okay, releasing the brakes is one thing. That's huge. But what if the T cells just can't find the cancer in the first place? Well, this next step is where things get straight up science fiction. We don't just free the soldiers anymore. We engineer super soldiers.
It's called CAR T cell therapy, and it's not a pill, it is literally a living drug. This is personalized medicine on a level we've never seen before. We take a patient's own immune cells out of their body and we reprogram them in a lab to become these relentless, purpose-built cancer assassins.
The process itself is just incredible. So first, they collect T cells from the patient's blood. Second, in the lab, they use a virus to insert a new gene into those cells. This gene gives the T cell a brand new receptor, a chimeric antigen receptor, or CAR, that acts like a heat-seeking missile for that patient's specific cancer. Third, they grow these new CAR T cells by the millions in a dish. Fourth, they infuse them back into the patient. And finally, those cells are unleashed on a search and destroy mission.
And this diagram just pulls it all together. You can see the entire journey, from the patient's arm into the lab where the T cells get their new high-tech targeting system, to the bioreactor where they multiply like crazy, and finally, back into the patient where they can hunt down and kill cancer cells with absolutely stunning efficiency. Okay, so unleashing this much power, it's a game changer. But, and this is a really big but, it doesn't come without some serious risks. All this power is absolutely a double-edged sword.
And you really have to understand, the side effects here are nothing like what you think of with traditional chemo. We're all used to hearing about hair loss, nausea, that kind of thing. But immunotherapy side effects, they're in a whole other category, and they all come from the exact same place, an immune system that's been put into overdrive. Just look at this comparison. On the left, yeah, the chemo side effects we're all familiar with. But on the right, immunotherapy is a whole different ballgame. It's all about inflammation. That supercharged immune system can get a little confused and start attacking healthy organs, causing colitis in the colon, pneumonitis in the lungs, hepatitis in the liver, anything ending in itis, really. It can also cause skin rashes and mess with your hormones.
And that's the bottom line here. Because your immune system patrols your entire body, when you take the brakes off, literally any tissue or any organ can become a target of friendly fire.
And for a therapy as potent as CAR T, the risks get dialed up even more. There are two huge ones the doctors watch for like a hawk. The first is cytokine release syndrome, or CRS. This is basically the T cells going into such a killing frenzy that they flood the body with inflammatory alarm signals. It's called a cytokine storm, and it can cause massive fevers, tank your blood pressure, and can even be fatal. The second is neurotoxicity, which can cause some really severe brain and nerve issues. Both are serious, and they require expert, specialized medical care.
But even with those risks, and doctors are getting so much better at managing them, what we're seeing is the dawn of a completely new era in medicine. This right here shows the modern arsenal, antibody therapies, those checkpoint inhibitors that release the brakes, and these incredible engineered T cells like CAR T. It's a therapeutic toolbox that was just pure science fiction a few decades ago. So, to just boil it all down, immunotherapy is a total paradigm shift in how we fight cancer. We've gone from just, poisoning the disease to intelligently empowering our own bodies, turning our natural guardians into our most powerful weapon.
I mean, this has already completely changed the game for people with once untreatable diseases like melanoma and certain lung cancers, and it's produced what can only be called miracles for some blood cancers. It leaves us with this really exciting question. Now that we've finally figured out how to unleash this power, what other diseases could we teach our bodies to conquer next?